Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Pathologic. In the last video, we did more of Day 3. We met Andre Stamatin, who apparently, I think he owns, actually, the tavern, but I'm not sure. The Broken Heart, I believe is what it's called. We met him, he gave us a bunch of gossip after we asked him about several things, and we got 2 twirine from it. We then met, and I think early on we met with Ruben? Yes, I think we did. And he let us know that he would like... So, he's still alive, obviously. He reached out to us via a letter. And he moved Simon's body out of the location where it had been located as well. Location where it was located? Yeah, we'll go with that. I'm not recording this part. Let's soldier onward. He mentioned that he also... believes he has what is required to do a study of the pathogen, the plague, which is affecting the town. He just needs us to get a sample of some dead tissue, basically drawing blood from a dead body. We didn't want to do this, but we're probably the most qualified to do so. So, to actually, however, draw blood from a dead body, we need to actually ask for permission first, because we're apparently not allowed to. This town, its culture, has a tradition which prohibits people from actually doing anything to a dead body. Drawing body, dissecting it, etc. is frowned upon, and we could very well be killed if it is noticed that we do so. Only one group of people are allowed to actually dissect a body or take samples from it, and that would be butchers, the steppe people in the cemetery. We went down and talked to Aspity, the girl who was harboring a butcher back in Day 1, and we killed that butcher. She was willing to find more butchers to assist us if we convince Vlad Olgimsky to stop persecuting runaway butchers. There's no reason to do so at the moment. We talked with Vlad, and Vlad is willing to do that if we convince Ruben that Isidore Barak's son, the Horospeks, is not guilty of murdering his father, and if we can convince the Canes to stop putting pressure on the Olgimskis for not opening up the territory to their agents. And so we're heading back over to the Canes now to tell them such. We have agreed this time to do so. I think that summarizes the day so far. So let's go ahead and head on over and say hello to the Canes. And I'm going to... nope, that's too far away. We're not going to visit the park. So, we also discovered from Vlad that he's in charge of setting up a hospital using his own funds under the order of Subarov. He also... is in charge of distributing the medical supplies, and has done so for apparently at least the guards who we talked to, and for other bound as well. We, however, were busy running around, and we missed the distribution of the drugs. Olgimsky seemed to be pretty happy about that, as I don't think he likes being ordered around by us. 1 second, little girl. Hello. I need to see if you have any more bullets. You have rifle rounds. You know what? I'm going to trade for those. Gets rid of a bracelet. And we already have several rifle rounds. Oh, hey, a little boy. We want to talk with him. He might have some drugs we can use. But he's kind of walking too far away. No, we'll get him. Hello, little lad. Thank you for stopping. Hello. Let's barter. A beta tablet. We want one of those. And I also think we'll take some Myrmidorm. I want another Myrmidorm. We have 13 razors. Let's take another one of those as well. Vlad also has an alibi for the Horospeks. He really doesn't think that he has killed his father. He's been... Oh, he mentioned what he was instead worried about, but I can't remember what it was. But it sounds fine to us, and our bachelor, Daniel Dinkovsky, said that he does indeed trust him. Hello, little one. Do you have, perhaps, no bullets? Okay, while we're in the area... do I want to rest? No, we'll make our way to the Canes first. And we'll talk to them about Vlad. And then we will... Oh, sorry, talk about Vlad. We'll ask them to stop pursuing Isidore Barak as the guilty party for killing Isidore, and possibly thus, well, I don't know if Simon is appropriate. Hold on. My mind has stopped working. Let's, I want these beta tablets. I wouldn't mind having one more Myrmidon. We'll take that too. My mind has stopped working, everyone. I forget what I was talking about. I can't. Why I have such a hard time keeping such things in my head. I have no clue. All right, let's talk with this kid as well. If he has another beta tablet, I think we'll trade for it. He does not. Okay, I don't want 2 alpha tablets. I think beta tablets give you more immunity and do less damage to your health.
In growing old, we become more foolish and more wise.
I will richly reward a friend that finds Simon's body for me, and I will squeeze the last drop of blood from the mongrel who stole it. We're not going to talk about Stock Reuben with him. I found the body snatchers. They were runaway butchers. Did you find the body? A body, dissected and disfigured. However, I find it hard to believe that it once belonged to your brother. I will show you the building where I found it. I will send my people there at once. You have my gratitude. Just don't bring the body directly to the Crucible, and don't forget to quarantine your people before they return to their everyday duties. 301, and 4,000 bucks for that.
Olgimsky has put a bounty on any runaway butcher. What is the old fox trying to hide?
He doesn't want them spreading panic, but why would they spread panic in the town? Especially if it sounds like this was something that used to occur and they weren't hunted down. I have a favor to ask of you, Judge. I am indebted to you, dear bachelor. Speak. I will be happy to grant any request that is within my power to fulfill. It has to do with Isidore Barak's son. Yes, I know the man. If only by what the others have to say about him. Regrettably, I have yet to meet him personally. He was one of the main suspects in Simon's murder. He also hasn't cleared himself, not to my judgment anyway, of the charge of murdering his own father. Now he is the man suspect in the theft of my brother's body. I hope you are not going to solicit forgiveness on his behalf. That is exactly what I'm going to do. This is one of the few requests I am not prepared to meet. That is to say, I wouldn't be, if anyone other than you were asking. But I believe without a shadow of a doubt that you are acting in good faith and with the most noble intentions. Now I feel bad about telling him that the body snatchers were the butchers. We're not going to mention Vlad Olgimsky to him. We already know that Gregory Kane and Vlad don't see eye to eye on things. So, young Barak deserves to have a break. That's what I need of him now, anyway. Very well, Doctor. I will do what you ask of me. But having done that, I urge you to tell me who stole my brother's body as soon as you learn the identity. I promise I will not punish Barak, only unless it turns out that he was a thief. We know Barak is not the thief. We know it's actually Reuben who is hiding the body. You have my word. And if I find out that Barak was the culprit, you'll be the first to know. And we're not lying. We'll never have to tell him, because he did not actually steal the body.
I have a heartache.
All right, next stop is, I think, Eva's, so we can get some sleep. We're getting tired, and I would rather not use coffee today. We can probably rest for maybe 3 hours. I'm thinking. We'll also visit our stash and store some stuff in it while we're here. I'm carrying around too much junk on me. We're going to need all of it. And then we'll go back to... Actually, where are we going? Today's quest. Oh, we didn't learn anything. Okay, so we'll go back to Vlad. And we'll see what he says. And then Aspity and see what she says. Okay, Tim, very quickly, what don't you want on you? I don't want the rifle rounds. I think we'll keep a bread. We'll keep both breads in here. I don't want the coffee with me. Don't even be tempted to use it. For drugs, I'll keep the morphine in here. I'll keep my beta tablets here at the moment and the antibiotics. Everything else stays with me. 3 hours we sleep. We are still hungry. Let's eat and have some milk. It is 6 o'clock, so it is getting late. We're running out of time. And it's drizzling. I love the sound of the rain in this game. All right, Tim. What else can we talk about? So the patrolmen, apparently, as I mentioned a bit earlier, were given, it sounds like, enough alpha tablets to keep them resistant to the disease. It's also curious that the poison clouds, that like the clouds of disease, they don't go after anyone but me. It is almost like Aspity was correct in that the disease is, it wants a certain person, and that's its way of reaching out to us to talk to us, which is kind of frightening in a way. I don't think we need any more Myrmidorm. Oh, we did also learn that the water supply, I guess that means actually what brings the water to the town, like the pipes, has been damaged, and now the only place to get water from are these barrels. That would be really super awkward if someone then just begins destroying barrels as well. No Schmouder. I wonder why someone would do such a thing, especially given the current situation. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It's like people want the town to fail. Okay, that's good enough for the supplies. Let's head up to the Ogimskis. I do like making a detour down to the park in order to search for more stuff, because we're going to need it. If I see a Teensy, we will go out of our way to talk to her. Remember that we don't have any Schmouders on our doctor. None at the moment. I do intend to do the quest to get us diseased and then use a Schmouder. So, because this way we will know that they actually work. Hello?
This girl is dangerous.
Okay, so it's not Vlad we have to talk to. That means it's Aspity. We unfortunately didn't find any boots in any of the shops today either. We could have reloaded the game several times when entering shops, because we know our testing has revealed that the game will spawn items in the shops as you walk into them. That's when it decides to do so. And then it stays that way, I think, for the rest of the day. But no, we'll be good. It's more exciting, I think, to struggle with what the game gives you each day. It also means that you can replay the game, and there is, well, obviously you can replay the game. There is some replayability to the game, because you're not guaranteed to get the same things every single day from the same shops. And I like that. I like that. It feels a bit like the Don't Starve RNG, and that's very pleasant. Because, well, Don't Starve can be quite different depending upon... Like, you still want to do the same things, but it can feel quite different depending upon what the game throws at you during those days. Hey, sir, as long as I'm here, can you repair? Remember that we fired 2 shots at one of the butchers in the butcher hideout, and we used our... What's it called, Tim? Scalpel, there we go, on a rat. So might as well keep our weapons in top condition if we can.
What's wrong with my eyes?
Big Vlad agrees. He swore that from this point on, not a single runaway in the town would be killed on his orders. Proof? Wow. This is a lie. My word. And Vlad's word too, of course. Right now, he's in no position to break his promise. He is also persecuted. Fine, then. I'll send 3 butchers to the infected Skinners. They'll be waiting for you there. If they manage to find a dead body, cut it, and survive to see you, that is. Follow them in an hour. They may die before you reach them, so waste no time. It would make sense for me to go with them straight away then, wouldn't it? Only the Shabnak cut the dead open. And does it even matter whose hand holds the knife? What matters is who's given out the order. Or do you think people won't realize who's violating the dead if you simply keep quiet and stand to the side? Good point, Aspedy. Sounds convincing. I strongly advise you to conduct reconnaissance before you go to the infected district. Prepare for the field trip well. Rumor has it the place leaves you less chances than a mincing machine would. The patrolmen guarding the infected houses have already consumed half the confiscated drugs. Thank you, Aspedy. The Skinner's district is contaminated. I hope that one of the 3 butchers that Aspedy dispatched there is able to return with a suitable specimen. There is no time to procrastinate. So, this was as far as I got. And I got a little further when I had reloaded to see what would happen if I continued playing this day. And I found one of the butchers up in here. So I went back to Reuben, and, like, nothing was there. And so I went up to the Skinner's district myself, and that's when I found one of the dead butchers up there. So I know that we have to re-go into that area again, which is what we're going to do right now. And I guess we'll go up this way. How's our immunity? So this is going to be kind of tricky, because I know that we're going to get diseased when I complete that one quest. So I don't think I'm going to actually take any immunity pills, because we're going to get diseased anyway. So we may as well just run around. Ah! Oh my God! We may as well run around without taking the immunity pills, I say, as we're almost struck dead by a plague. Okay, so I don't remember where that person was, so we have to kind of explore everything in here. And we're gonna quick save, because I will reload if like 2 hours pass and I haven't found the bodies. Then we're going to have to do this again. Wow, that was really close. Oh, the poor sick are on the ground out here. Wow. Oh my God, this is horrible. Don't worry, sir. The evildoers are dead. Upon Olgimski's orders, armed resistance. They must have thought Fat Vlad had sent us, but there's something fishy about this here business. Why? It gets worse. That beast carved them up and wrapped them up, prepared them for something. Been waiting for the Ripper. He's still at large. Ism that's killed old Barak. Ain't gone nowhere. Ain't fooling anyone. It was for him the butcher did it. No question about it. What in the world makes you think so? He was waiting for him, so he was. It's all pointing towards it. Good thing we were there to dissuade him. But in a different neighborhood, another butcher like that slipped away. I just got the report. How'd I love to give the beast a good thrashing. Him and whoever's paying him. Shame I can't leave my spot. And what happened to the body? The body was given to the family. They'll bury it. Sounds like the right thing to do. So, alright. That butcher had carved up the body, prepared it for us, and then was killed by the patrolmen. And the body was taken away. Some meat. Oh, we don't have any more razors, so we're not trading. So that's Isidore's house. So we explored this area. We've also been down here. Let's check up in this area next. We know that Loafer's in there. Should we investigate one of the houses? Because we're going to get diseased anyway. I think we should. Well, actually, Tim, let's find the other 3 butchers. There's no reason for me to get diseased if I can avoid it. Oh, no. That villain. To chop him up like that. He must know his trade well, huh? Dressing carcasses and the likes. Look over there. They're carrying the body with all the cuttings. Where to? The cemetery. Where else? To prepare for burial. Why'd you ask, sir? Why wasn't the body returned to the family? He ain't got no family. There's only Grace to give him solace now. I see. The body that the butcher had cut open was taken to the cemetery. Okay, so that must be where we have to go. Alright, I'm gonna do it. We're gonna get diseased anyway. It's upstairs. Poor girl. Oh, that's nasty work, Tim. Going in there and just searching the house for items that you could benefit from? Well, they're all dead, right? All of them are going to die. Loafer's to the left, right here, right? Yep, okay. We'll talk to him in a few seconds. So everyone here leaves their doors open. I guess because... So, it's so sad. But that's what I do when I'm extremely sick. Because I don't know when or if I'll be able to open the door. Oh, okay. So this has got us. All right, we're now infected. We're now infected. Oh, another body. Don't worry, sir. The evildoers are dead. Oh, this is the same conversation as the previous one. Who were they? Butchers. Why did you kill them? For abominable sacrilege. Aren't butchers allowed to dissect bodies? Bull carcasses, yes. That's kind of self-explanatory. No, good sir. I was like, no, good sir? Since when are they allowed to cut open people's bodies for entertainment, though? Or do they know the lines? Whose entertainment? Their own? It gets worse. Okay, so thank you for your service. Hello, Loafer. Ouch. Loafer? Uh-huh, that's me. And how do you know me? What are you doing here? Nothing! I meant well. I won't do it again. Are you testing a schmouder? Tell me the truth. No. I mean, yes. I'm a brave boy, aren't I? Let me check if you have a fever. Are you sick yet? I don't know. Doesn't look like it. I've been waiting all this time to fall sick so I could do the test. Nothing so far. Bad luck. Bad luck! Are you completely mental? I've been told that this is the place where this is, you know? Sort of tongue comes out of the ground. A tongue made of dirty lumps. Like made of thick air. You're standing at that exact spot, sir. Give me the box. I'll test it myself. Oh, actually, you seem to be right. I do have a fever. Let me take the schmouder, will you? So I don't think he actually has a fever, because we said he did not, and I trust my opinion as a doctor. Cut it. Good kinds do not tell lies. Give me the thing and get out of here. All right. Oh, I understand. He was lying about having the fever because he really wants to test the schmouder. All right. I suppose I'm in no position to argue, but will you confirm what really happened here? You will, right? If anyone asks? Give me the box already, will you? I don't like the prospect of you poisoning yourself. Now we really are diseased. So we're gonna leave the infected district. Guess we might as well search these. And once we're out, we'll take the schmouder. I think our health will slowly degrade, and I think our immunity will keep going down as well. Like, we're already infected, right? So it's not like we're gonna have a whole lot of immunity anyway. Like, what does it actually do for us? I don't think it does. Oh, I don't think it does anything. We got diseased even more. Losing more immunity in the process. Thankfully, we're not dressed in cloth rags, so the guards aren't going to beat us up as we try to flee. Okay. Health is reduced to almost nothing. We'll take both our tourniquets. We'll take 2 bandages. And that puts us back into the decent life range. We can take some Meridorm later to heal ourselves more. We also should stop by and talk to Capella. But we need to go to the graveyard first, right? So let's do that. We'll talk to Grace first. Right, we learned that she has a schmouder. And we could use one. I really need to find a teensy who has one as well, though. Should we talk to... Let's talk with Aspity first and let her know that all the butchers are dead.
Is the disease really contagious?
Okay, so we can't apparently tell her. Oh, hey, holy crap, hello. Do you have a bandage? Can we use a bandage? Yes, you do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want a tourniquet as well. We have plenty of water. Okay, we can then take the tourniquet to heal us a little bit more as well. What time is it? 8:30. 3.5 hours. And we're not done with the quest yet. The Skinners district is contaminated. I hope that one of the three butchers... Oh, we read that. The body that the butcher had cut open was taken to the cemetery. Oh, you know, do you have to actually talk to all three of those guards? It sounds like only one of them is probably the real one you have to find, and the other two are don't help you because the body was returned to the family, so there's no way you're getting access to it. All right, that must be where we have to go. But first, Grace.
I think they've fallen out of love with me.
It's hard. Not only do they need to be fed, but talked to as well. I need to find the words of comfort for them. Only then will they repay us with tenderness and joy. But now they are all anxious. Every single one of them is mumbling something. That's why I look so tired. Where's the caretaker of the cemetery? I'm the caretaker. Since my father died. Were you talking about the souls of the dead? Of the dead themselves. Do not assume that people die forever. Not everyone does. Some people live underground and only die out for the lack of care. You have to always knock from this side, so that they don't fade away. Let me examine your pupils. Okay, now your pulse. Do you take drugs? No. It's Twire, the herb. We sleep in the very heart of the steppe, you know. I'm all green because of it. It's high time for it at the moment. Can you hear how the air is tolling? That's Twire. Unbelievable. The ruler should take some measures immediately.
Sleep is a second meal. I'll manage.
Don't you dare touch the dead. Leave now. Have you gone mental? What would I want with your dead? They said a scary doctor will be making the rounds today, turning the dead inside out. Even though he has no right to. It sounded like you. Grace, that's the only way to fight the disease. So go fight it. Distribute those drops, pills, or powders. They work. I know that for sure. I have a powder myself. It may be better when I got sick 5 years ago. Please, tell me more about that. I was helping my father. He was burying those who had died from the disease, and I was sprinkling the graves with twirine. I got sick. A girl named Murky brought me 3 powders. I ate one and got better. I gave another to my father, and he survived too. And I still have the 3rd one. Give it to me, please. I'll check what it is.
The Changeling girl is paying visits to every villain for 3 days straight now.
Every villain. Interesting way to say that. All right. I'm nervous about this. Let's see how we can get the body. Should I have my gun equipped? Am I really gonna shoot guards? I would like not to do that. We can always run if we have to. Anything I can help you with, good sir? Was this the body brought from an infected district? Yes. We're preparing it for the burial. What's in it for you? Let's try to use that power that we supposedly were given by Subarov. No questions. No questions! Did Governor Soborov forget to inform you of my mandate? Governor Soborov. Governor Soborov is not my commanding officer. I'm a volunteer. Do you get that, Doctor? Or do I need to spell it out for you? Oh, great. So we have members of the honorable militia doing their job. Who doing what they think is right, but not following any commander's orders. Silence! Know your place! Okay. Can we... Oh, Jesus! What the heck happened? Why are we back here? Oh, wow. We got punched in the head really badly. Oh! Our reputation has dropped as well. My goodness, this has been a really rough day.
I will restore the order here, rest assured.
Keep your voice down and listen carefully. I've told these people you're not the person who ordered the butchers to cut corpses. Thank you. I appreciate that. I had to concede that there's an unknown Ripper on the loose, twice a criminal, for daring to raise his knife against the inviolability of a body and for defiling the sacred peace of the dead. I told him you weren't the real Ripper. We've started a manhunt for the real one. Good move. It will put them on a false trail. These patrolmen were keeping watch at the cemetery. Right now, there's no one there. I will task them with blockading an infected district, and I will dispatch the next shift of guards to the cemetery 10 minutes. Do you hear me? 10 minutes after you leave. You have a 10-minute head start. Do what you need to do. Thank you, Governor. I understand and appreciate what this act has cost you. Those guards will die. They'll give their lives. They're being sent to their deaths if they're being sent to an infected district. But I don't care. We need that body, and we need it now. What are we doing, by the way? The dissected body is still at the cemetery. I need to get to it before any new detachment of patrolmen arrives. What time is it? Almost 9. Oh, we got, like, teleported back to whatchamacallits. No searching anything. Make a beeline right for the cemetery. Nine o'clock. What's interesting is I can totally see people following their traditions, even if what is required would go against them, right? People's political, ideological, religious beliefs, they could, depending upon what's going wrong, if, for example, someone needed to carve a body, but it was against those beliefs to cut it open, I could see people just refusing to let them do so. So this is, I like this. It feels realistic to me. Although I guess the teleportation does not. I guess, so what happened? I guess we were attacked, and then we were brought to Soborov by those patrolmen. I guess I should be glad they did not beat me to death. Is my immunity going up, by the way? I think it is slightly. I wonder if we could have shot and killed the patrolmen if it came down to it. Go, go, go. You're gonna get in trouble if you're seen here. Yes, our immunity is slowly climbing back up to 50%. Okay. I don't know what it is, but we're taking it. It's the only thing on the body. I can't pause to look at it because time doesn't pause while we do so. This is the only entrance or exit from the graveyard, so we need to get the heck out of here. I'm surprised. What did we do? How did we get that sample? Assuming this is blood at all. This blood must be analyzed. Corpse blood. It's in a vial. Maybe the butcher had gotten some of the blood into a vial and strapped it someplace on the body, and we were able to find it by patting it down to find it exact. Hold on, Tim, your words aren't making sense. They put it someplace where they knew we would be able to locate it. That's the only thing I can think of. Oh, I was in the infected district and I didn't even wear my gloves. I should have done that. Alright, so right now I'm making a beeline back to Reuben's with the blood. We've only got a few hours left, so hopefully this will end this quest. Then we'll go back to Eva's and we'll sleep. We'll take some Meridorm as well to hopefully help us heal. And then we're coming back out here tonight to fight more thugs with whatever time we have left. Oh, we haven't visited Bad Grief with our doctor now, so maybe we should do that as well? Oh, actually, all his stuff is too expensive, so, right? How much money do we have? 4,045, that's not a lot of money. No, we'll be okay. Alright, Reuben, here we are. This was totally... I don't know if this was worth it.
What is this disease?
Finally. The operations have been a success, I hope. That depends on the result. The microscope is at your service, colleague. May you be the first to make the discovery. Much obliged. I don't know what I'm looking at. Am I supposed to click on something? Okay, I see a bunch of things under the microscope. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for. So hopefully that did it.
Yes?
So, what did you see there? Everything's dead. The dead tissue would not allow the microbial culture to survive. We might have tried to force the bacteria to reproduce. The problem is, there are no bacteria left. The culture has perished. Really? So, the dead body, the body that was there, that wasn't there yesterday. So, at absolute worst, it arrived there at midnight. And there's no sign of the disease in the corpse. At least not in this sample. This is bad. Oh, okay. This sounds... I like this. Quite the opposite, colleague. This is outstanding. What we've just discovered allows us to suggest that sandpest does not linger in dead bodies. As soon as it kills an infected person, it leaves. It needs warm blood, rich in oxygen, to survive. How do you think the bacterium kills, Bachelor? It causes a massive contamination of the blood. In so doing, it overloads the cardiac muscle. In all likelihood, the infected suffer a stroke. That is something we didn't know before. So in order to acquire the potent living microbial culture, we will have to get our hands on a still beating heart. This is borderline absurd. We can start to research your vaccine, though. Don't you have that unique source of yours? I do. In any case, our work must no longer be delayed, not after the new hope today has brought. What does this mean? Firstly, it suggests that something as simple as house walls might provide a certain level of protection. Secondly, that the killer's life cycle is very short. Therefore, there is a natural restriction on how fast the disease can spread. As soon as the infection kills whoever carries it, it dies. This means the disease can be fought. Yes, there is hope. Although the enemy is invisible and ubiquitous, it is far from invulnerable. We found at least one weakness. Oh, thank God, and the quest is done. The tissue extracted from the corpse did not contain the microbe. It perished together with the host. I have come to the conclusion that it may be possible to curb any spreading of the disease. Full isolation will be essential. Mere walls, perhaps, may offer some kind of protection, glass walls in particular. So what is this? So this means that, I guess, this disease cannot live on surfaces, but it totally contaminates structures that it grows on. We've seen houses with scabs and blood on them. The inside of the infected houses are terrifying. I don't know. Some of this seems a bit odd. Maybe there's more translation problems. Okay. So let's... Oh! We got a lens. Let's use the lens. Nice. Stronger still. Next step, we're going to go and visit Capella. I want to inform her that the Schmauters actually do work, or the one we took worked. Now, I'm going to guess that all of the Schmauters work, and they will rid us of the disease, but reduce our health to nothing. So, dangerous, very dangerous, but useful to know. As for the disease, everyone, I think I will give myself one reload if we get disease. I know I mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again. And then if I get disease a second time, I'll just have to deal with it. Hello, Capella.
Guests are always welcome here.
I found the boy. Is everything all right with him? He's not sick, is he? He's not. He was lucky. I'll find the cache as soon as possible and retrieve the poison. Thank you. You seem to be planning to test him out yourself. Or am I mistaken? I already have. Apparently the one I got was efficient. Next time, you will not be so lucky. We'll see.
Is it really lethal?
Victoria, what has your father been up to lately? Executing the orders of our new governor. What a disgrace. Using your name as an excuse, Seborov has ordered my father to organize an isolation ward, a hospital, and something else at his own expense, probably a morgue. I hope my father treats you well. I'm afraid it might be I who mistreats him. If anything goes wrong, do tell me. My father is truly a miserable man. Can you imagine how heavy the burden of his responsibility is? He's in charge of the lives of several thousands of people. I'm also responsible for the lives of several thousands of people now. Let us hope that your father will support me out of mutual respect, if nothing else. Of course he will. You must know already that our family used to be very rich. I happened to find out that almost all of our resources went to the capital to bribe the officials and obtain drugs. Do not be too harsh on him. I won't push. I think I trust Capella. Quite the contrary. I respect his actions and his choices, and I appreciate it that you love your father so much. really quick. It's gonna seem really weird. But can we? Are we allowed to? Does she have a bed? Are we allowed to sleep in the bed? Oh, holy crap! I don't really want to sleep in the bed. I'm just curious. Okay. Does that mean I can sleep at Lara Ravel's house? I guess I can. So the only reason why... That's interesting. Maybe I should be sleeping at Lara's house? Well... Can we get infected if we wake up and the infection has spread to her house? I don't know. Oh, we should also visit the theater while we're here. Let's see if they're putting on a play for about today's objectives. Useless. Where's my bandages? I need more bandages. All right, let's step on in, if we're allowed to. Nope. Okay. So the evening's performance is actually starts in the morning. That's good to know. How's our health? 50%. Okay, I'm gonna need to take some more bandages, I think, and some Meridorm. The Meridorm's gonna make us really tired, though, so we're gonna need 4 hours of sleep, at least, if I take it. So that will put us to 2 in the morning. I would prefer to have a little more time, so I can actually do some more ridding the streets of the thugs, but we're just not gonna have that time. So what we'll do, everyone, is we'll go back to Eva's, and I will... Oh, what? Thugs are out right now. Oh, wow, he threw the dagger at us and missed. So be careful. You're hurt. You can take only like 2 of these hits. Ooh, Tim, good dodge. Be careful. I would like at least 10 of those a day, because we can trade them with the guards to get enough food to heal like 30% or so of my hunger bar. Another thug. Come on, let's do it! Did I miss? I think I did. I'm making it more exciting for you guys. After going really close to him. Well, that was a nice. That was a nice. Yeah, that was a nice. That was very nice. Let's get to sleep, like I said I was going to do, and then we'll call the session. Actually, we should read the letters that we've picked up today as well. Let's reshut those. Okay, do I have anything I want to store in here? I want to hold on to a Schmauder. Everything else I think I want to also hold on to. I'll store the Twirine at the moment. Oh, we have 2 bandages in there? That's good to know, too. Okay, so... let's quick save, because I might reload if this makes me too tired. We'll take the... Myrmidorm? Actually, where is my Twire? Let's take one of these out. Let's try that, too. What does this do? Give us more immunity, actually. And heal us a little more. So we need to sleep for, I think, closer to 5 hours. But we'll sleep for 4? No, 5. We gotta sleep for 5. Actually, we had to sleep for far less than that.
The day is over. Your timely efforts allowed your supporters to remain unharmed. A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theater.
So, let's read our letters first. Okay, so we got a letter from the powers that be, and we have the epidemic and confidential notation. So we've already read these, right? But I guess we should really read these, and we're calling it a session. All right, so let's do that. So, epidemic, written on your recommendation, sent for approval. The address to the townspeople. Attention, all citizens. Following the outbreak of a lethal disease commonly known as sand plague, sand pest, and sand dirt, the town authorities hereby declare state of emergency. The disease is extremely contagious. There is still ongoing research as to how the disease is transmitted, but cases of contact and droplet infection have been confirmed. There are currently no vaccine solutions in the town, and none are to be expected before the regular train arrives. Please be extra careful. The townspeople are forbidden to leave their homes unless under special instruction. Remember, the possibility of infection is much lower for those who stay indoors. The citizens are advised to sterilize their household wares, boil their clothing, and exterminate as many vermin as possible. Do not panic. Medics, couriers, and executors will take care of mail delivery, as well as the distribution of drinking water, provisions, and medicine. Requests should be written down and slid under the door for couriers to collect. This address was composed on the instructions of Bachelor Dankovsky and ratified by the State of Emergency Town Governor Alexander Soborov. It is compulsory to follow every advice herein. Confidential notation, written on your recommendation, sent for approval. In order to prevent panic, this annotation is classified, and its contents should be under no circumstances disclosed to the civilian population. The disease is incurable. False. Schmauder's work. There is no vaccine. Neither here nor in the... Well, if you're lucky enough to find a Schmauder, that does work, I suppose. There are a few positive facts. The probability of contracting the disease is significantly lower for someone who has taken immune system stimulants. As of now, we believe that A pills and B pills, yellow-colored and blue-colored pills respectively, provide the best protective effect. Excessive doses of those medicaments may be detrimental to one's health. Additional protection is afforded by synthetic clothing. Woolen garments are strictly off-limits, parasites. The clothing should be changed as often as possible. Fleas and what have you can live in those clothing, and if they can probably transmit the disease. Important. The disease develops sporadically. At its initial stage, it does not progress in any significant way, especially if antibiotics are taken. However, if contact with the infection reoccurs, the development of the disease becomes extremely rapid. In other words, for us, we can get more diseased if we walk through a disease cloud a second time, as we have seen. The disease is not transmitted by means of droplet infection. Epidemic, however, said... Cases of contact and droplet infection have been confirmed. So, one of these is lying, or both of them are. Actually, no, it has to be one of them. Only one of them has to be lying. As of now, we've yet to find out how it is contracted. Preliminary tests suggest the disease is not contagious at early stages. Therefore, there is no need to isolate the sick person immediately after the appearance of the symptoms. App the executors. In consideration of your particular line of work, we believe that you will not be able to avoid infection. If you have contracted the disease, do not give in to despair. It would have happened sooner or later anyway. Try your best to conserve the infection at its initial stage. Take antibiotic medicine. Consider using the Schmauders. They are extremely dangerous, but they help curb the infection. And what did the powers that be say? Insofar as the victory over the enemy is comparable to learning its nature, we see you as our champion as well as our scholar. We think it would be appropriate to inform you of the conditions of your victory. We hope you appreciate the fact that the disease is nothing more than an unfortunate coincidence. You should treat this as a basis for your research, for if the outbreak is entirely accidental, as the lack of any outside influence on the town suggests, then it should be comparatively easy to handle. Avoid multiplying casualties. Seek an answer in unorthodox methodologies. The cause of the outbreak is not of a fundamentally familiar nature, so you may need an adventure of sorts to remove it. And what does Eva say this morning? And then we are done.
Oh, what is there to talk about now?
All hope is gone. I've set up a whole laboratory upstairs. I hope that's fine with you. I understand that it can be rather annoying. It's nothing. Nothing at all. In any case, I won't be staying here much longer. Stop it. There's no need to be so pessimistic. In the days of old, it was common knowledge that plague strikes the hopeless first. Do you know why our cathedral remains empty? Wow, that's quite an answer. No. Why? It isn't a cathedral, actually. It was supposed to become a cathedral, yet for some reason, it didn't. Sometimes I feel sad for it. Sad? Seriously? I could have been living next to a place where the sacrament is performed daily. Oh, she's Catholic. Or whatever the religion is here that has sacraments of that sort. To me, because I'm Catholic, this tells me that she could go and receive the host daily. They would have mass there every day. Now, we've walked into that cathedral, and it certainly doesn't look like a Catholic church to me. It looks like they worship something different in there, especially given the horrific face up in the bell tower. Cheer up, will you? Stop being so depressed, Eva. If nothing else works, try to get some sleep or get drunk at least. Maybe a bit harsh, but being depressed and worrying about this isn't going to make it better. Alright, everyone, so we're going to stop here. Thank you guys for watching. When we come back, we'll sing a song of death as we kill as many of these thugs as we can this evening. We'll also visit the theater, and that will summarize what happened today. So I'll see you guys in the next one, and take care, everyone.